there, it's Jen, and I'm back with another process video. I'm using my Felicity Jane kits today, and I'm using this really large photo of a tree stump. And if you have followed me for very long, there was this tree that I was obsessed with, and it was at my work, and I took pictures of it all the time. I guess if you followed me on Instagram, you would know about it. Anyway, I loved that tree, and it was so awesome. It was a flowering pear, and we had a few microbursts come through, and the wind kind of ravaged the trees, and one day I came to work and they had cut the tree down. And so this is a page about that tree, and I knew immediately with the blank space, or not the blank space, but the space on the photo where the stump was not, I was going to put the title, "My name is Jen and I speak for this tree," kind of a play off of the Lorax. And I just wanted to talk about all the joy that the tree brought me and how much I loved it. And so I am using these kind of see-through alphabets. They're not quite white. They have a little bit of a bluish tint to them. I'm using those on top of the photo because I wanted a large title, and I'm going to just spell out the words "I speak for this tree" with this alphabet, and it is, I believe, from Heidi Swapp. And then I will put a little label that has the rest of my title on it. And so I really like the way that that looks, and it really draws your eye into that photo. And yeah, like I said, I knew immediately that I wanted to do a page like this with this photo. So I'm not sure exactly how large the photo is. It seems to be about, I don't know, 6x9 maybe. It's a weird size. Sometimes I'll print a bunch of photos just kind of randomly sized on one 12x12 piece. And so that's what I've done here. These are some little tabs from the cut apart sheet, and I'm just placing them above the photo. And I'm going to use these, they're black acrylic pieces from the Just Sayin' kit. And I'm going to use those for my journaling. And I thought it was perfect because the title is "I speak for this tree." And so I wanted to write what I'm speaking in those little speech bubbles. So I'm just going through the pieces of my kits, and I've said this before, but with the Felicity Jane kits, there's usually a common thread running throughout the kits, and they all, even though they're all very different, they all go together rather nicely. And so I just keep all of my kits together, and each month I just pile more into my little Felicity Jane kit box there. So I'm just looking through all of the different cut aparts to see if there's anything that I could add here. I know I need a pop of color, and truth be told, I'm not entirely thrilled with the way this layout turned out. I don't know if it's just different for me, or I don't know. It seemed dark, or I don't know exactly. I can't pinpoint what it was that wasn't working for me. There's a lot of things I really love about it, and I really love the idea of it, and the title and the thought bubbles and how that's all working together. But overall, this wasn't my favorite layout, but that's okay because not every single layout's going to be perfect. I think I was listening to the Paper Clipping Roundtable, and they were saying something about how Van Gogh did so many paintings, and only like 15 or something are considered are his most famous and considered real works of art. And so I am not going to absolutely love every single thing I do, and I'm okay with that. So here I've taken one of the labels, and I just ran it through my typewriter, and I typed "My name is," and then I went to the next line and left a space for me to put it down some letter stickers that say Jen, and then it says "and ... So now the title reads "My name is Jen and I speak for this tree." And those letter stickers that I used are just those Teresa Collins white tile letter stickers that work for everything. So now I am just taking these the speech bubbles, and I'm just cutting some white cardstock to fit behind them. And if I were smart, I would have glued those pieces down to the white cardstock before I tried to cut around it, but I just held it in place and it worked out, but it was a little bit finicky. So that's all right though. And I don't think I mentioned, but I matted the photo with some craft cardstock, and I just liked the way that the craft kind of brought in that natural element, and the background is also a wood grain, so I liked that. And I don't know if what I'm not liking about this page is the fact that I've used a lot of black and white and the photo's very brown, and I think that might be what it is, but it's okay, it's done. So that is that little label I just put at the bottom. I put a little tab and a label, and that label is left over from another page. I didn't use it, and it says love this, and it's just a gray label, and I used a stamp from a previous kit for that. And I'm just going to create like a little cluster down at the bottom right. And I'm just I was looking through the different branding strips on all of these papers to see if I could find a couple that I wanted to use for a border at the top. So the XOXO is a branding strip, and the other piece is just a strip of pattern paper. And I'm going to place those at the top of the layout just to kind of give it a little something more and bring a shot of that reddish pink color up. I wanted to bring some more green into the layout, so I'm using this little flare that says hi. Really it should say goodbye, but that's okay. And now I am going to put it all together. So I should have been putting it together the whole time I was laying everything out, but sometimes I just don't commit. So now I'm just going to go ahead and get everything glued down. And I'm using some multi-matte medium in my fine line bottle to glue down those letters, and it works really well, but there is a slight like lip to the letter, so it's hard to explain, but on the back of the letter the very edges stand up a little bit from the inside, so it's kind of like a little cup shape. So when I put on the glue, it doesn't lie exactly flat, and so it wasn't working amazingly well. So I end up actually switching from the matte medium to just my regular dot adhesive, and you can't see it, and it works really well, so I just trade. And so yeah, just like I said, I'm just gluing down those letters. And while I'm gluing those down, I just wanted to mention that I will be posting this on my blog, probably not the same day that I'm posting the video, but I will have that on my blog this week, and I have updated my blog, and I'm trying to get everything kind of settled there and work on a few other things, but it is working and there for you, and the blog address is craftygenscow.com. So you can go ahead and check me out there. From now on, I'll be posting all of my layouts and my videos there, as well as the still photos from all of these layouts that you see. And so now I'm just going ahead and getting all of these layers stuck down. Like I mentioned before, I laid everything out, but I hadn't committed. And you saw my daughter's hand. She was kind of giving me some advice. And she wanted to see those little speech bubbles because they're cute. So I decided to give this border strip a little interest. I decided to use my notebook punch on it, and I don't know that I love it because you can't see the XOXO anymore, but I did it, and so it's done. This was just one of those layouts that I had great intentions, and I just don't think it was well thought out maybe on my part. I was kind of in a rush to get this put together, and so it's what it is. I still like it, but it's not my favorite. So the XOXO is getting lost, and you can't really see the notebook edge very well, and so I'm just going to slide a little piece of black cardstock underneath it so it's a little bit more visible. And I needed to replace my adhesive, something we all have to do. And just gluing that at the top. And I thought about stitching that down, but I was too lazy today, so I didn't do it. And that's okay. And I'm just going to stamp the date on, I'm using my Chamel roller date stamp, and I used my close to my heart I want to say acrylic black. That's not what it's called. Archival black ink. And I didn't stamp it exactly perfect, so I just grabbed a pen and kind of filled in where I didn't stamp it exactly right. And it's a little like blurry, and I don't care. I think that the theme of this layout is I don't care, and it's just happening. It's going down. So I'm looking through my sequin stash, and they're just in a little container that has divided containers, has divided little spots, and I'm just grabbing some black ones in a couple different sizes because I felt like it needed something a little extra to finish off that cluster. And now I'm going to go ahead and journal on these thought bubbles, and I'm using my favorite Muji pen. I keep meaning to check, but I keep forgetting to see if these are even acid free because I have no idea, but I use them anyway. And sorry for my hair in the frame. So on each one, so I didn't want the journaling to kind of get broken up, so I'm making it so that each speech bubble kind of has a different thing that I'm grateful for about the tree. So like one of them talks about how it was beautiful in every season, and sorry, I'm grabbing the layout here. One of them talks about the great source of joy that it was to me, and then one of them talks about why it's gone now. So the largest one will talk about kind of the tree's demise. And it seems really silly for me to get so attached to this little tree, but I was. And when they cut it down, my coworkers actually gave me a little card to tell me they were sorry, which made me laugh because they knew how much I loved it. So that was really sweet. And I might put that in a little pocket on the back of this layout just to keep. But yeah, I'm gluing those down. And like I said, it would have been a lot easier if I glued them down to begin with, but I didn't. And I'm just using my multi-matte medium from Ranger to glue those down because the acrylic, I want it to have a nice hold, and that multi-matte medium is pretty strong. And as soon as I get those glued down, I'm going to put a few more sequins, and then I'm using the multi-matte medium to glue the pieces down too because the liquid glue is easier to adhere to that paper. And like I said, I'm going to add a few more sequins, and then I'm going to add a little bit of paint splatter or some mist splats with Studio Calico Pinstripe, which is a grayish color. When it goes on, it looks pretty black, but you can see in the photographs at the end that it's kind of like a grayish color. And that is pretty much going to complete the layout. So thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all of your support and all of the kindness that you guys have shown me. And if you want to see my layouts, I will leave a link below to my Flickr gallery. You can check out my blog. Like I said, it's CraftyJenScow.com, and I have links to all of the places you can find me online there as well. And I hope that you'll see me, or I hope that you'll come back and watch another video soon. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.